Colonel Higginson was a man on fire, read one obituary. He had convictions and lived up to them in the fullest degree. The obituary added that he had led the first Negro regiment, contributed to the literature of America, and left an imprint upon history too deep to be obliterated. Thomas Wentworth Higginson would have been pleased to have been referred to as Colonel. He was proud of his military service, and happily used the title for many decades after the end of the Civil War and up to his death in May 1911, at the age of 87. Nonetheless, his time in the Army was just one of many things for which he hoped to be remembered. "I never shall have a biographer, I suppose," he mused in his diary in 1881. Just in case somebody took up the challenge, however, he wished to provide a hint about his career. "If I do find a chronicler," he wrote, "the key to my life is easily to be found in this, that what I longed for from childhood was not to be eminent in this way or that, but to lead a whole life, develop all my powers, and do well in whatever came in my way to do." It was a life marked by numerous struggles for social justice and progressive causes, from abolitionism to women's rights, from religious tolerance to socialism, and from physical fitness for both genders to temperance. Yet, almost alone among his contemporaries and reform-minded friends, Higginson refused to devote himself to a single crusade. Even as a young man, he warned his mother that his greatest intellectual difficulty has been having too many irons in the fire. Some of his colleagues disapproved of this, having dedicated all their efforts to ending slavery or advancing women's social and political rights. Then there were disputes about tactics. Some relied on the pen or the spoken word to garner support for their chosen cause. Abolitionists who followed the lead of Boston publisher William Lloyd Garrison, for example, typically declined to vote and believed that moral suasion and Christian pacifism would bring about an end to slavery. Frederick Douglass argued that violent means might be necessary to liberate 4 million enslaved Americans, of which he had once been one. John Brown went further still and urged his supporters to take the fight into the contested territories of the Midwest or even the South, which the government of Abraham Lincoln effectively did in late 1862, when the War Department authorized a regiment of contraband soldiers on the Carolina coast.